Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Ooh, Mr. S.
Evening.
Happy New Year.
How are you all?
Wonderful. Happy to be back.
What did the new year bring?
Carry tears.
The new
But
year didn't bring
if you,
anything
if you look at it from a positive,
exciting.
well, it's exciting because you get to know that you have these number of things that you have to get done on the car and you're getting some done. So you're moving ahead. You're not in the same spot. And, your mechanic pointed out to you that these are the other things that you would need to do to bring it to where you want it to be. So that is moving ahead. Other things will move ahead with it now.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's
okay,
better than last year.
okay. That is important. Anyone else? How has your 2026 been so far? Nobody? Mr. SGL, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How has your 2026 been?
Yeah, again, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's
Good
so
evening.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm approaching it from two angles. And one way, I feel blessed
Mm-hmm.
and continuing to use the lessons learned from this space and other spaces in terms of being in abundance, being in neutrality, and accepting what is, right? And at the same time, not but, and
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, uh, observing and being patient with some development that is going on with an extended member who's not well, who's been in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that that could lead into death. So I'm bracing myself and at the same time kind of reviewing the lesson learned because nothing will happen that was not meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so leaving myself receptive to what may come and also knowing that I might still feel a certain way if in fact it happens adversely. So I'm still feeling good, to be honest, facing what may come, and
Mm-hmm.
at the same time knowing that I may not have the full breadth of what will be. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. And I was in a similar position over the 2 week period that we were not on. And let me tell you, I had to deal with a situation. I wanted to do nothing with the situation. I wanted to have absolutely nothing to do with the situation. And then there is nobody else to deal with it. So Adana has to deal with the situation. And on that day, it was very funny because the post that Befitment sent out on that day guided me through the situation. So let me just show you the post and hopefully it could help you as well. So this is the post here. The truth is not found in having all the answers. It is in being brave enough to live through whatever is required by the question. Get out of your head, get into your life. And when I saw that post, I have been saying it over and over and over. Okay, Adana, live through it. Live through it. Get out of your head. Get into your life. Whatever is presented to you is presented for your growth, for your evolution. And let me tell you, I faced this situation and it actually turned out a lot calmer than I expected because you see, when you're looking at it from a different perspective, in terms of this was sent to me. And remember, guys, life is not all about the smooth sailing and everything easy and everything perfect. It is certainly not about that. But when you have to deal with something head on and you actually deal with it head on without the feelings and without the emotions from before and the feelings from before and all the unnecessary things, and you just remain neutral, it is very, it was a very new experience in terms of accepting, in terms of relating to the person and with the person. And I tell you, the outcome was way, way better than expected. And let me tell you something, Mr. SGL, you have all the tools that you need to deal with it. As soon as it presents itself, remain as neutral as you can be, deal with it step by step. Don't get flustered, don't get frustrated, don't get overwhelmed. Anytime that does attempt to happen, just stop and take a breath. Trust me. Just stop and take a breath. This was sent to you for a reason. And deal with it from that situation. Remain as neutral as you are. Take everything one step at a time, and tell you, you would be on the other side of that way faster than you even know.
Thank you. Thank you. One of the things I would also said is that I think the first week we did not have an actual live session. And I was like, what's going on? And then eventually I got the link. It came right on time. It was very good.
Yes.
And the one after, I didn't finish the second one, but
Mm-hmm.
each part that I got to listen to, they were very instrumental. Appreciate. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, of course. And guys, that is why we are here. And then you're realizing that when the things that you face, everything can be faced. Certain things can be managed. What is in your control could be managed. What is out of your control, let it be. Stop trying to manage what is out of your control. Just let it be, especially for 2026. Let it be. So, would anyone else like to share how has your 2026 been thus far?
Hello, Happy New Year to everyone.
Hi, Happy New Year to you as well.
I think for me, I could agree with what Smith said and what you said. I didn't hear what Catherine was saying. I came on a little late. But I feel like with the tools that you have acquired, now you are, now, at least for me, I think differently. I perceive things differently. And that makes a big difference. It depends on what angle you're looking at whatever the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
Because before you'd have certain situations and be like, why this one and why that one or why or why or why? But now, when you understand that nothing happens to you, it happens for you. In everything that happens, there's a lesson to be learned,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no more blaming, no more placing blame, no more feeling bad or because even when for me when you think about stuff and it's like for this year I need to develop how to do me, right, take care of me. And for so long the ego was all in getting caught up in, well, I don't know if I want to do this, and you're so concerned about other people and you're so used to thinking about other people and how they look at you and how they perceive you and how they perceive, the situation, when you just reflect within, what is the lesson that I have to learn? It's not about anybody else.
Mm-mm.
What is the lesson in this for me to learn? Right? Everyone is within their right to do what they do because they are who they are and where they are. Right? So it's how you could change you or work on you to not let the external affect you. Because one of the biggest lessons I learned for 2025 is there's nothing you could do to change anyone. Absolutely nothing unless they want to. You could hurt inside, you could double over crying, you could do whatever, you could think, oh, it's my family, it's my friend, it's my foe. There's absolutely nothing you could do to change anyone. So when you get to that place of acceptance and accepting that and really letting it be like your core, then you're like, okay, you know, whatever they have to deal with or whatever situation they might be going through, I'm here to be there for you if need be. But I can't do it for you. I can't make you change. I can't make you see my perspective. And it's their lesson to learn and their path to follow. Their path is not my path. So the biggest lesson for me is looking at things from a perspective that I never looked at things from before. And once you get to that point, it's so much easier because you're realizing that attachment you have to family and stuff is like, it really hinders you. So once you look at things from that perspective and you start to really apply the tools, then things look totally different.
It really, really, really does. Because, just looking at the unfolding of a lot of things in life, you're really starting to see a lot clearer. Certain things are said, but it is when you experience it and you are able to apply the wisdom, you recognize, I understand now from a way deeper perspective some of the things that were taught during the sessions. A lot of times, guys, I tell you, when you just look at the unfolding of life, just allow life to be, look at the unfolding, and I am telling you, things really, really become a lot easier. Yes, Katrin, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised.
Yeah. Something that Lisa was saying that just now kind of clicked in terms of when she's with attachment. And I was thinking of, I thought of the monks who are walking at this point and the one who lost his leg. And when I first read the story about, oh God, I went with, oh God, he lose the leg. They used to do something good and look what happened. And then I'm reading, he's still smiling. He said, if I lose a leg for peace, that's good. And it was as though, and it brought home the thing of what are you attaching to? This man left wherever he was with two feet. He now has 1 foot. And he is celebrating the fact that if I lose a leg for peace, that's good. That's good. Let's keep going. And when Lisa talk about attachment, I know I am one of the persons still working in that space, working my way out. And I am working with this too shall pass. If it's a situation where I I feel myself getting irritated or I feel myself wanting to address something, I try to remember well, I don't try, but you go back to the lessons because you have lessons, you have tools, you have things that you have the wisdom, you have the explanation. So there is a different way you could work through whatever you're experiencing at the time. Because, as Lisa said, it's just if you just focus on you'll focus. And when I look back, and the kind of answering the word attachment that I had to what I consider family, to me now is a lot easier to just, there's some points that still remain, some sticking points, but it's easier to walk towards what you want now. So that when I find myself getting into a space where I would normally have addressed it in a different way, you almost feel as though you will let yourself down if you do not apply what you have learned. Because you know, And to pick the old way, I mean, it is not an easy thing, but to know that you must make another choice if you want to see the results that you want to see.
Very true.
And one of the things over the period when we, well, even before that, is what do you want to see? What do you want to see? I keep, what do you want to see? Even now, with all the fines that have gone up, and my car needed inspection. And I have to keep reminding myself, what do you want to see? As opposed to going with the anxiety of this
Yes.
might happen, that might happen. No, what do you want to see? Okay, therefore, what are the steps to bring about what you want to see? And in there, you find the energy to focus differently,
Hmm.
focus on what you want, and therefore your mind is filled now with the what are the actionable steps that you have to take. So the attachment is working itself out the door. It has not gone completely because I've had a number of years to practice with that. So, but it really is a question of focus, which is like our topic tonight. Just focus, focus,
Hmm. Hmm.
focus, and choose the new way that you have.
Hmm. Because let me tell you, every opportunity that you are presented with, you have the choice to either continue as you are or practice what you have been learning. But are you conscious enough to make the choice to practice what you have been learning? Because sometimes it's so easy to just fall into whatever the familiar pattern is. But because even the opportunity, today when I got that phone call, I got stiff. I was like, oh gosh, oh my lord, oh gosh, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. And then I saw the post and I said, okay, okay, live through it, live through it. And I tell you, I went without any expectations, without anything. And the conversation was had, and I'm telling you, it was way, way, way better. And I said, moving forward, I would approach things like this. There is no expectation, there is nothing. There is a clean slate. You go with a clean slate and see where it leads. And I am telling you, it really led to a very, very beautiful end. And I hope it continues. Yes, Lisa, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I want to just talk about something. Is not to look at it from a political standpoint, but with all the stuff that's going on with Venezuela, and we talk about, the president of the United States and why he did what he did. But in the beginning, I was like, well, this man just going in and doing this and doing that. But then when you look at social media and you see some of the citizens of Venezuela who is happy for what has happened because of the way that they were forced to live. Now it's like, which how are you going to view it? And then when you look at the way God works and everything works in that perfect timing and there is no wrong, which side of the fence do you fall on? You know what I mean? Because it's like what you think about, that's what happened. But if you look up at it as, for the people who was there and was going through certain hardships and they're now happy, then it's a good thing. you know a change is coming. Every time there's change to come, something has to happen for something else to happen. You know what I mean? So it's, to me, it's the same thing when you're dealing with your personal situations. And we've been talking about, you have to go through that hard phase to be able to come out on the other side. To me, it's the same thing. So and to me, this is where you tend to learn how to become neutral, because there's always going to be people for and people against. So if you stay neutral and allow the path to just flow naturally, then it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen.
Yes. Everything really does, everything happens the way it is supposed to happen. It is just our focus is placed somewhere else. We are always focused on what we expect it to be. And I even had to remind someone recently, and even myself, that there is what you would like it to be, and then there is what is. If you continue functioning from what you would like it to be, you are going to continue frustrating yourself, because what you would like it to be does not exist. That is your expectation of life, and it does not exist. And once you continue from there, you are going to continue to be frustrated. So, moving into tonight's topic, which is the thinking beneath your focus. There is your focus, and then there is the thinking beneath your focus. Because if you're focused on something, but the thinking behind it is not clear, it is not concise, it doesn't have any clear intention, usually the focus doesn't last very long. So when you hear the topic, the thinking beneath your focus, what comes to mind for you? Why is it important? Why is it necessary?
But for the same reason you just said, if you're not thinking on the same wavelength and you don't have the same, so to speak, vibration, how do you expect it to come to pass? You want something, but you're doubting it's
Mhm.
not going to happen, you know, and you're not believing and knowing that it already happened. And that's where we always fall short. I know I do. Where you want something and you're like, oh my gosh, but then, da, 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 and then, okay, yeah, I do this. And then, oh my gosh, but da, 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 da. So that is where, for me, is you have to be very present, very mindful. And in knowing what you know, you could always just pick up on when you're slipping and bring yourself back up to where you need to be in that, focusing.
Yes, that is indeed, indeed, indeed very true. Because the things that when you tend to make up your mind is when you bump your toe, your back against the wall. That is usually when we tend to make up my mind, I'm not going to do this again, I'm not going to do this anymore. That is when you tend to make up your mind. When you feel pain first. But then why let it get to that point where you feel painful? Or when you go to the doctor and he tell you have to do A, B, C, D, or else. Why do we allow it to get to that point?
Adana,
Yes.
I was thinking that if you have a kind of scattershot kind of approach, right,
Mhm.
not a focused approach, you could be all over the place, and you wouldn't get to a real goal or goals set. That you can't just be operating. Everything had to be intentioned.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you're doing. You have to have some kind of intention. And then you prioritize your business and you focus. If you don't take that approach and you just jump out all over, all over, all over, and use that kind of, well, this one do it so I go try that and I go try this and I go try that. You go be trying forever and ever, amen.
Yeah.
And you might get very far.
Yes, indeed. Catherine, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised.
What came to mind when I saw the topic was the need to understand that the way you think is really where you are focusing. And you may tell yourself that you are focused in a particular area, but deep down inside, your thinking is in another direction. And that is really where your energy is going. And that is really what is going to come forth, not what you are thinking that you are focusing on. And so it is important to analyze what you are thinking and to ensure that what you are thinking is really aligned with how you are focusing on certain things, because you deep down inside, as think I was Lisa was saying it, there's a part of you that doesn't believe something deep down inside, and you haven't even stopped to address that portion of you, but you're hoping to achieve certain things, and you are not really where you are hoping at all, because that little piece that remains deep down inside saying it's not really going to work, but I will give him a bet. But once there's that hard but, soft but, meanwhile but, you will not achieve what it is you really want to achieve. So to be mindful that you can sabotage yourself in little ways, little ways that you're not even aware of. And it happens so quickly that you wonder, well, what hit you? I was going down this road and it was looking good. And suddenly nothing at the end of the road. And it's because you didn't realize that you had taken your all, your full self. You had taken it out of where you really wanted to go, and you let a little piece of something slip in. You listen to something, you listen to somebody, and you let that little doubt
Mm-hmm.
creep in, that little fear,
Mm-hmm.
and right away, there you went. There you went. You were not aligned with your thinking, and your focus were not aligned.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what came to me.
And to answer your question, I can't remember what I was doing recently. And the thought came that, there is a lot of power in the present moment. And so many times we utilize the present moment to consume ourselves with what happened in the past. And if we just stay in the present moment, trust me, there is a lot of power in the present moment, because in the present moment is where you can receive the wisdom that is required to move you forward. But if, yes, the doubt does come, the fear does come, but if you allow those things to come in and consume your present moment, you would always be stuck. You would always, always, always be stuck. That is why it is really important that you stay focused in the present moment. Yes, things happen. Yes, the last time that you went by licensing, the line was very long, and with all the fines that went up, you don't know that it's going to happen again. Because you could get up in the morning and something say go for 2:30 in the afternoon. And you go for 2:30 in the afternoon and there is no one there. But if you spend the time focused on what has gone, then that is all you would keep replicating, replicating, replicating. And then you say, I don't know why the same thing has always been happening to me over and over and over again, because that is where your thought process is. And again, guys, when you get the opportunity to practice something different, practice something different. Because you have everything that you need already. All you have to do is remain present, All you have to do is remain present. The person that bounced your car yesterday, it does not matter. If you place your focus there, it is going to matter, it is going to amplify, and it is going to frustrate you even more. The thing that happened to you when you were a child, it probably happened to make you more resilient. The boss that you're still holding on to that you didn't like when you work with in 2020, he is retired and he is having a ball of a time traveling the world. And you are probably still holding on to whatever happened in that moment with your boss. But that again probably happened to make you more resilient as well. But why are you consuming your present moment with that instead of focusing in the present moment on what you want to achieve so that the steps could be revealed to you? It is just about utilizing the present moment in another way. You don't always have to utilize the present moment consumed by what has happened in the past. You could imagine if you utilize the present moment to really consume yourself and focus with clear intention on what you want. How quickly do you think that you would be able to achieve whatever that is? If you just shift your focus in the next direction. Imagine how quickly you would be able to achieve the things that you really want to achieve. Instead of sitting down and overthinking, just sit calmly with clarity and clear intention and know what you want. How you're getting there, how much money it costs does not matter. Just sit with it and allow the next step to reveal itself. Even if the fear comes, move it out of the way. Just imagine how further along we would all be if we really, really adopted that. You know, it's just to shift your focus and practice something new, you know. It is just to shift your focus because let me tell you, the present moment is where everything is. Recently, this was in early December. On my way to work, was gonna get something to eat. But where I was positioned, I have to cross 2 lanes to go over there. So while in the third lane over than the place, I kept getting blocked off from getting to the place. And I said, but why I keep getting blocked off? Fight up, got into the first lane and was able to exit and go to the place. Remember, I'm going there for breakfast, right? Went up to get the breakfast and all the shelves were clear. That was the purpose of being blocked in the first place. And then you would recognize, had I just remained okay, because again, my familiar pattern, I want to go there. But in the present moment, you are being blocked off. Go with the flow. I did not go with the flow. I created my own way. And what did I get from creating my own way? Nothing. And that is what usually happens. And when we get nothing, we get frustrated. And
Yes.
then you let this one experience define so many other things instead of just accepting, you know, I wasn't in the present moment. I was attached to the past, knowing that is somewhere that I usually go to sometimes. And I was trying to make my own way. And I got nothing in the end. You know? And had I gone with the flow, I would have probably gone somewhere else and get something else. And then again, the lessons are there, the opportunities are there. So, you know, when you get the opportunity to practice, take the opportunity to practice. Anastasia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good night.
How are you?
I'm good.
How has your 2026 been thus far?
Very good so far.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
And how
Starting stronger than last year. This year I'm starting stronger than last year.
okay. Okay. And for those yes, most of you all, yeah. Do you all have your 12 things written down?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. Okay. Make sure that you keep them close because, you know, we were told that this is what we would be working on achieving for 2026. And for the persons who are unaware, the sessions during the week, we were told to list 12 things that we would like to achieve for 2026, and we would be working on achieving them for this year. So that is what is currently being discussed. But in terms of moving forward for yourself, what do you think that you could do? Because remember again, befitment is here, yes, but in the moment when the opportunity presents itself, you have to remain consciously aware to make the choice to practice something new. But what do you think that you can do to practice the new instead of slipping back into the old patterns moving forward.
I think, like when you were speaking just now about, old habits, and you was like in the third lane, and I think we all experience that every day at some level.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always say, "Oh my God, look how this worked out!" You know what I mean? And sometimes when it do work out, you're surprised that it work out. So I feel like for me is, sometimes we want to bite off a big chunk, but because we are now learning this, it's to practice with simple things, small things. And the more that you practice the small things and you start seeing that it's working out, then gradually, you could start doing bigger and bigger and bigger. But sometimes we want to go so big, and then it's like when it doesn't work out, you'll be disappointed. But then we don't see the little things that do work out. And we don't acknowledge the little things that we do work out, that works out. And with the little things is the same step. You focus, you want it. Sometimes you're sitting and you say, "Oh my gosh," or you're thinking about somebody, and then they call. Sometimes it's simple as that. Or, like for me at work, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just want this day to work out in such and such a way." And then you go to work, and like today I went to work, tomorrow my doctor canceled half of his patients on the schedule. You know what I mean? So it's just like, because I know, like for me, I am trying my best, like, to really commune with myself and every day ask a question like, "So, what do you want to experience today?" And in doing that, and you're getting the notions or the inkling or the thoughts of what to do, and you see things work out. It's like, "Oh my gosh, okay." And then just be happy in those moments, just show the gratitude in those moments, and realize that things are working out and you are growing. But like I said, so many times we look for the big
Mm-hmm.
picture that we really don't recognize the little steps and the little things that is already working for us.
Yeah. Because you would recognize that wherever you put your attention, that is where your mind decides what deserves it. So if you put your attention, this is what I want to achieve, guys, we all know, when you make up your mind that you make up your mind that you make up your mind, nothing stops you. And you see, once you're within that framework, everything would start to unfold. But again, if you're not sure, and again, if you are holding on to things that did not work out before, it is not going to change. What didn't work out before, that was then, this is now. Approach it with a clean slate, with a new mindset. You know, because if you continue as you are, you will have the same results, the same resolution. We are now in 2026. How much longer are you going to carry those same resolutions forward for? So really, really think about it. And remember these hidden beliefs that shape your attention, it also affects your consistency. So if you think that you want it, but within you, you know that you're not going to get it, that hidden belief is going to affect how consistent you are, because you don't believe it for yourself, you don't know it for yourself. So why am I even bothering to try? So you really have to do some self introspection to really get to the core of probably why you're not achieving the things that you set out to achieve. Is it consistency? Is it discipline? Is it being proactive? Is it you need to put certain things in order? What is it? And once you identify what that is when you really start from there. And I know in one of these sessions during the week, we were told to put the things that you already have in order. And once you put the thing that you already have in order, trust me, your next steps will certainly be revealed. So even if you think that you don't know where to start, start by putting the things that you already have in order and then take it from there. Also, your mental framing is certainly influencing your productivity and energy. What do you think your current mental framing is? Is it conducive to framing? Is it conducive, sorry, to being productive and high energy? What is your mental framing like right now?
I think for me, it is work in progress because one of the things I think I had to learn to is, sometimes you speak out of turn in the sense that you you're directed to, or in within yourself, you're like, I don't feel like I talk to this person yet about such and such a situation. Like you're feeling that in your being. And then you're like, whatever, let me just tell them what to tell them. You know what I mean? But had you wait on the right time, then the conversation or the discussion or whatever else might have gone differently. Because you wait on the right time to say what you have to say, you know, or the right time when, they said, well, at 1 o'clock go X, Y, and Z, not 1:30, not 1:05. So I think for me, that's part of where I am and working on that.
Okay. Anyone else? In terms of your mental framing, where do you think it is right now?
For me, I am working on try to remain focused on you. Remain focused. Keep your eyes, Catherine, focused on you. Since you cannot influence other people, you cannot change other people, keep your eye focused on you. And when I do that, there's a sort of, is not giving up, but is a sort of, it is what it is. Like all the thing going on in the news right now, it is what it is. It's like, that is, it is what it is. And you find, I have found that in some instances, I was able to focus on things that I really have,
Mm,
resources that I have. Because many times when you let yourself wander around in your mind, you tend to say you don't have certain things, you don't have certain things, you don't have certain things. But when you stop and you just focus on what you want, you start to look around and I start to find resources or different things. Something as simple as I would usually entertain my friends. And we would do so from 7 p.m. or something. And then over the season there, we made a change. And it turned out, they said, let's do brunch. And I said, okay, you could come over to my house. We do it at my house. And the entire thing was so nice that I put it to them. This is a good formula for persons who may have difficulty driving at night. By 6 o'clock, everybody was gone. And so once you open yourself up to doing something differently, you start to see other things. And then I remembered I have another group of friends who this one doesn't want to come out at night. And I haven't seen them since before COVID. And I say, we're doing this. We are doing this. We're going to have a brunch instead of the late night thing. And little things change for you in small ways. We still talk about small ways. And then you start to know that you could apply it to the bigger things. what brought you to this little bit of success? Okay, so how do you apply this to the, because we spend a lot of time learning that you need to be before you could do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And therefore, what do you need to be? How do you need to be? What? And then you learn that you want the thing you want should be one. So, what is it you practice in small things that you need to apply to the big things? Because the big things and the small things, the same thing. But for me, you spend a lot of time thinking, oh, this is so far out of reach. But when I stop and I just settle into, you have it already. You have it already. It's there. If you're thinking about it, I start thinking now, you brought it with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you tend to forget that you brought it with you. So I keep now working on reminding myself, you brought it with you. It in your bundle, it is in your bundle. So you have it. How to get to it now? You need to make sure your bundle is laid out properly and folded. You know where the things are. You didn't just throw things about like when you have a basket full of laundry. You just pick off the line. And so my mind now is working on staying in the thought that the knowledge that you brought it with you. Everything you want, you brought it with you. The husband, the this, the that, you brought it with you. So just settle down now so that the things could come
Mm-hmm.
without the anxiety and the, because you brought it with you. That is my what's the word for that? That is my motto for this year. You brought it with you. They're ready.
Yes, it really, really is. Again, staying in the present moment, staying in the present moment, staying, because if you had decided, and because, and the last time, and she, this thing, that, oh my, like, why are we even bringing yesterday into today? Once you start from where you are, I am telling you, everything becomes a lot clearer. And life is, I am very sure that for those of you who are practicing and putting the things into practice, isn't life more enjoyable? Isn't life more enjoyable? You probably don't even recognize. Because the other day and all, I started to feel fearful about something, and I had to stay, and I had to tell myself, I can't remember the last time I felt fear. Think about it. Some of the feelings and the emotions and all of the things that used to be clutter in your mind, they don't even exist anymore. So much so that when it comes, I tell you, it feels so outside of you now. I tell you, I got rid of that fear so fast because it's like I can't remember the last time I felt fear. Tell you, things become a lot clearer. And what do you think are some of the tools that you could utilize to align your thinking with deliberate, sustained focus moving forward? Because I know that you are practicing these small things, but how can you make the practice more consistent?
For me, it will be baby steps because I am walking away from overthinking and overanalyzing. So, baby steps. You're here, this is what you could do. And I remember feeling really weird in the last few days
Mhm.
because it was as though I had a routine and now something was missing in the routine. Something was missing in the routine. So for me today, starting back, Genius goals, I was like, yeah, Genius goals coming back today. Yes, yes, yes. Things are gonna get back into a sort of routine because all these other things were like the extra bits, car business, this and that. And then I had to say, well, you are struggling because you need to rethink relaxation. You need some rest. 2026 is going to be a running year. Did you all know I actually walked from the main road to almost to the highway when I walk home today? I was so happy today. And I was just one foot in front of the other and I was crossing. And I'm saying this is such a great experience. The sun was really hot and blazing. And but yet there was a kind of joy in walking. I said, I said I wanted to improve my exercise for this year, and look how it started. And I resisted all thoughts of looking for a taxi, all thoughts of looking for, and it was a joy. So the little things you just pick. It's not like picking your battles. It's just pick the things and work with the little bits, and just enjoy every space, and before long I was home.
Mm-hmm.
Before long, I was home. I was in my street. I was saying, hello, home. We are back. And I had a good time talking and walking with myself. So the little things, I'm going to just be focusing on the little things. Just stay there, stay there. And when the things that would typically annoy me, the things that really I'm working on. And the question is, how many times, Catherine, you think you could let that annoy you? Because you getting annoyed over it is not changing it. So you literally could open a chart now and say, okay, tick one annoy, tick two annoy, tick three annoy. But at the end of it, you could enjoy your 365 annoy. But so at which point will you say, okay, this is what this is?
Yes.
This can't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the lesson here? Oh, okay. So I'm looking for lessons with a fine tooth comb. What is the lesson? What is the lesson? Because I know that wisdom says once you learn the lesson, you move on, it will not return. So, what's my little motto? Yes, you brought it with you. So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want, it'll be there. And if I focus on what I want to see, because I've seen examples where things that used to irritate me, I say, listen, Father, it's you and me and everything. This is what I want to see. And gradually, you're not going to see it right away. I didn't see it right away. But I held there, and you get the opportunity for conversations came,
Yeah.
the opportunity for the thing to go away came, and you sit back and you say, see, with a little bit of patience, just focus, as opposed to focusing in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is what I have found, that when I focus in the situation, I'm not getting anywhere.
No.
And the situation is not getting better, and I am not getting anywhere. And then you sit down with your long list saying, I knew better. So all of that, just little steps, focus, and when the thing is coming, say, what's the lesson here?
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Or
beat me. I'm
even,
working on the basis of you can't beat me now.
you could ask yourself the question: is focusing on this more important than me focusing on what I want?
Okay, child, it is
Never,
not more important at all.
never.
Not more important at
So
all. When you
this is how
consider it like that, it's
me,
like
yeah? Is focusing on this more important than focusing on what I want?
it's
Because
like literally.
the more that you focus on what you don't want and what you're not enjoying, you're creating more time and space between what you do want to come. Is it more important? It is not. Exactly. And I tell you, just shift. Because in asking yourself that question, you're just shifting. No, 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 no. I want to shorten the time and space, not increase the time and space. Anastasia, yes, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised.
Yes. So when I started doing, like, when things start annoying me, I started asking myself, why is this annoying me? So I am trying to get to the root cause of the annoyance, because it have things that don't annoy you. So the things that annoying you, why is it annoying you? You know, sometimes it's things that go way back
Mm-hmm.
that have you getting annoyed over certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I find with me, I have to get to the root cause and reach to the stage of making something to making peace with the past, you know? Because it's something from in the past that you didn't deal with or you keep running away from, you sweep it under the carpet, and up to this age, that's still bothering you. That somebody just, you know, push your button and you going off. You ain't learn to control yourself as yet in this situation. It's because, well, you just not dealing with it. You're sweeping it under the carpet. You know, so I catching myself asking myself, well, why this have you so annoyed? What it is going on with you, you know? And of course, you just get your answers. And when you get your answers, you know, well, exactly, okay, what it is you have to deal with. Sometimes it take you forgiving somebody who done dead already and that have you in this kind of way, you know. Sometimes it taking all of that. The other day I was to forgive my mother, you know,
Yeah.
because I get to realize that I just react a certain way to certain things because, you know, of quite back there, you know. And for me, I find that settling things in me, you know. And I am trying not to let externals off balance my internal being, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And I come up with a little something. I say, you see, when external start to interfere with your internal, yeah, what to do? You come out of the external and go inside of yourself and sit down with yourself quiet and sort yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
Yes.
yourself wants sorting out. Because sometimes it's not that you want sorting out, it's sometimes it's too much of focus you're putting
Yeah.
outside here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you need to go inside of you and put your focus inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
So this is my, what I should say, this is my tool for dealing with certain things with this aspect of of me. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I recognize that everybody's starting to direct themselves into where they are supposed to function from, which is within as opposed to outside of you, because that is where all the answers come from. And even if you ask yourself, focusing on what I want, is it more important than focusing on what I want? It is certainly not. And you see, once you keep redirecting yourself, redirect, then it would become one with you, and everything that is outside of you, you just let it be. Because we cannot control anybody else. We cannot control any environment. We cannot control any outcome. What we can do is manage ourselves during the experience, because the experiences are going to come. You definitely cannot determine whether or not I would like, yes, we would like the experience to be a particular way, but it does not always happen like that. So even when presented with it, you know, you can manage yourself a lot better. And another post that was sent out is the world rewards those who can concentrate deeply in the age of distraction, because we are certainly currently in the age of distraction. But what again, guys, this is all for you so that when the situations come that you could remember in the moment. Because you know how easily it is to get distracted. You open your phone, is Maduro, is Trump, it's everybody and everything that is happening all over the world. But do you think that you could really remain laser focused on what it is you would like to experience? Or are you easily distracted still? Or have you found ways to maintain your focus? and say, no, 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 no. This is what I would like. I will not be distracted by all these other things that happening.
I don't think I've gotten to the point where you're just staying laser focused, but I've gotten to the point of realizing when I'm not focused
Mm-hmm.
and be able to bring myself back, and like Catherine was saying, because my mind would go into overdrive, overthink, over process, over analyze, over, you know what I mean? But now I have a whole lot more control of that when I see myself going off course to be like, no, 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 you know? And then, understanding if you stay on that path where it's going to lead and you definitely know you don't want to go down that path,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not 100% at staying laser focused, but I'm able to reel myself back in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that listening to all of you, you recognize that you all are kind of reeling yourself back in. As opposed to, before and you just go down the road, the same road over and over and over again. You are able to identify and reel yourself back in. And in doing so, you would definitely be able to create what you would like to achieve moving forward. And it is very nice to see. It is very good to see. I know this conversation, in listening to you all, it is very different compared to the conversations that we started with at the start of 2025. And, it's just to encourage you all to continue on the road. You are all making some really, really good steps forward. And again, guys, please feel free to invite others to these sessions because, we all need the assistance and the guidance moving forward. And before I let you all know what we have to also help us even further with the schedule for this week, because Monday, today is the start, which is the thinking beneath your focus. But we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to reinforce and to go much deeper than what was discussed tonight. Does anybody have any questions before I let you know what the schedule is for this week?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a general question, and I'd like feedback. So I'm at a place where it's like, you know, it's like you want peace. I know peace is, but it's just like you cannot deal with all the extra.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm at a point where I just don't feel like talking to people because I just don't want to deal with it. Not deal with it like I don't want to like sweep it under the rug like Anastasia said, but I just want to kind of like protect my space. And sometimes I'm saying, is this like you're being going through like depression because you just don't want to talk to people? Or is it like you protecting your space? So I'm just going through those phases like there's certain people like you said certain people fall off. You just can't have certain conversations. You don't want to have certain conversations. You just not at that space anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay.
Yes, it is okay. Because, guys, when you look out at life, because recently someone came from the US and I had to take them somewhere. And even in the drive, the person saying, look at how much things has changed. And that is the natural progression of life. Things are going to change. Some people are going to fall off, new people are going to come. But again, that is why it was stated before in terms of there is so much power in the present moment. In the present moment for yourself, when you get up in the morning, remember we used to stay before, self, what is required for you today? And start to ask yourself the question and communicate more with you within, just as Anastasia was describing, instead of focusing on what is happening on the outside. Ask yourself the question, just as Anastasia saying to, why is this irritating me? You know? So probably need to start this back. Yeah, it's the start of the year. Probably need to start it back. When you get up in the morning, you know you're taking a few deep breaths. I know breathing is now part of the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sessions. It's just to get you a little aligned before the session starts. But even for yourself outside of it, you could practice it 4 times for the day. Every time that you get up, every time you encounter a difficult situation. Because remember, everything rests on your breath. Because that is the thing that changes based on your feeling. When you feel angry, it changes. When you feel sad, it changes. When you feel happy, it changes. When you are neutral, it changes. So take a deep breath. Ask yourself the question. If you are not supposed to talk to anybody and you're just feeling to be silent today, then so be it. Spend some time with you. And you see, when outside starts to get noisy and distracting, it is really time to look within, because there is probably something that is trying to be communicated to you that you are unaware of. So spend some time with yourself, or even spend some time as well writing down some questions that you would like the answers to. When you write down the questions, it doesn't mean you'll get the answer in the next 2 minutes. Sometimes you have to write the questions and leave it, and then the answer would flow to you. And be able and willing to accept whatever the answer is. And when you see the answer, don't attempt to run and hide. Because sometimes we have to face certain answers and accept certain answers as they come. So at the start of this new year, spend some more time with you. So even if sometimes you spend the time you're driving home, or you might be on the phone, or even after you get home, you're on the phone, or whatever the distraction is, spend some alone time with you. Ask yourself questions, write down the questions in certain instances, and then see what comes as part of the discussion. Yes?
Yes.
And let us know if it helps. And of course, we have, if you need any additional support, feel free to reach out to us, and we would certainly schedule a session, a consultation session for you. But spend some time with you moving forward and see what comes. And you know, everybody could engage in this exercise. Spend some time with yourself. It is the start of the year. You know, some things you might be unclear of, and you would be able to gain some more clarity on them. Spend some time with yourself. All right, so let me let you all know what the schedule is for this week. So for tomorrow, from 10, we have counseling and consultation. 6 p.m., we will be discussing separating signal from noise, identifying mental clutter disguised as effort. So, Lisa, this would certainly also assist you moving forward. I hope that you would be able to make it. From 7, we have the Be Fit, Fuel, and Flex full body workout sessions. Then on Wednesday, we have counseling and consultations again from 10. And then from 6, we will be looking at building values as the anchor of focus. So whereas we would focus on the distraction and the things that you don't like, on Wednesday, we would be looking at focus anchored in what genuinely matters to the self. So I hope that you all will be able to attend. On Thursday, we would be from 10 a.m. counseling and consultations again, and then from 6 we would be looking at reactive thinking to deliberate choice. So just as Anastasia was saying, in terms of sometimes things happen and you are reactive to it, so instead of it, we would be focused more on deliberate choice, and we would be shifting from automatic reaction to conscious choice. Then from 7 we have our fuel and flex workout sessions again. On Friday, we have counseling and consultations. And then from 3, we have our free to be sessions on Saturday the 10th. We have our sip and talk, the vibe to reconnect with your goals. We are aware that we are currently experiencing some WhatsApp difficulties with persons attempting to register, and it will be sorted out very soon. So let me let you all know the sip and talk. So another year, another win. Let's get it. Saturday, the 10th of January, 2026, from 4 to 7 p.m. For those who cannot physically make it, you can still register to be part of the discussion. The cost, of course, is free. You could also bring your drinks online and come, let's discuss making your goals a reality for 2026. You could simply WhatsApp Sip and Talk to 3361809 to register.
Adana,
Yes.
I just wanted to say that for those who would want to join online,
Mm-hmm.
instead of you only bringing yourself online, you could invite some of your friends to join you. You all could get together in one space, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if there's activities, you'll have somebody there to do the activity with you and
Yes.
make it a really nice event for yourself, as opposed to just staying you by yourself in your home online
Mm-hmm.
and just looking in. Just get your friends, as they say, get your crew, and come to sip and talk.
Yeah.
And for the people that is outside of Trinidad, the 4 p.m. is really from 5 to 8.
Yes. Yes.
Lisa, darling, I know you are talking to. So get your crew, Mr. F. Get your crew, get your people together,
5 to
Yes.
have
So
the
it's
5
eat
to
and
8, and
3
drink.
then
p.m. No, then it's not
the
3
the
p.m. Your
phone
time.
number doesn't have the 868.
Okay, I will adjust it.
Oh, yes.
I would certainly adjust it and send it back out tomorrow. And then on the 24th of January, we have our Beef It Burn Reloaded, the ultimate aerobics workout. It will be at the Balance Center, Chaconas again. And it is brought to you by Regal and Universal. Of course, there is a lot of prizes to be won, just as it was last year. And it would be facilitated by Paul, the trainer. In addition to that, we have our Be at Work session as well. For those of you who are at work and you could spare half an hour, these sessions are really, really informative, I must say. So, are you ready to empower your workforce with applied cognitive and physical conditioning to optimize work performance, improve measurable productivity outcomes, and strengthen well being? Then Be at Work is for you. This session is free, and the topic for this month is peak performance without burnout, because you know that is something we struggle with, especially in January. Yeah? January, a lot of persons are certainly burnt out, and these sessions they assist with improved performance architecture. They assist with helping build structured workplace systems, increase productivity and focus, decision quality improvement, prevent burnout, and of course, they are expert led. So if you would like to register, feel free to contact us at 868-336-1809 for further details on the registration process. And we also have our 7-day Genius Jumpstart Guide. So if you are ready to finally take charge of your life as it relates to mindset, fitness, or nutrition, you can message the word jumpstart to 3361809 for your copy. And again, these are tools that you can utilize to assist yourself moving forward. Yes, we come on these sessions. We have Be at Work that is free. You also have the Jumpstart Genius Guide that is also free. And if you are interested, you just message us. If you want to be a part of the Sip and Talk, message us. You could certainly be part of it. And guys, whatever you are presented with, Befitment have already given you the tools to deal with it. So don't feel as much fear and anxiety and doubt within yourself when you're faced with anything. Know that you have what is required for you to face it, to deal with it, to overcome it. If you need additional support, we are a phone call or a message away. So you could sit and have a discussion. Feel free to invite others. We are in week 1 of 2026. Let us make it count. We are in week 1 of 2026. Let us make it count. And remember, most importantly, that there is power in the present moment. If you are outside of the present moment, you would recognize a lot of time you are powerless. And in being powerless and feeling powerless, what do you tend to do? Fight up. And in fighting up, what do you tend to do? Get weary. Get weary, frustrated, overwhelmed. Then you feel stuck. You don't have to. Get yourself back to the present moment. So, have a wonderful, wonderful night, a wonderful evening. Or before I close off, I almost forgot. You know, for this entire year, we have been doing our Genius Goals Challenge, and the winner for 2025 would have won tickets to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And for that, we have Lisa, who came in first with a total score of 246.65 points. And Anastasia was very, 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 very close behind. Very close, shy of less than 10 points. So let us all congratulate. Congratulations to Lisa, of course. And her tickets would be sent. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, but she would sort it out. And she would be able to go and, enjoy her trip. Lisa, congratulations. Congratulations once again.
Thank
And I
you.
know you are most welcome. And guys, these things are achievable. They are achievable. Anastasia, congratulations as well. Because I know that it is because of the Genius Goals question, and I know you said it for yourself as well, that you are able to really do some deep, deep reflection. And I know that it certainly helps. It helps to fortify. It helps to, it makes you think a lot deeper, and it also builds your resilience. Of course, the 2026 cycle starts from tonight. The question would be posted, and also the details to come of the prizes to be won for 2026. And guys, really, even if you don't want to enter, of course, it is free to enter. And for the persons to win the prizes, you have to be a premium member to be able. You get enter, of course, but to win the prize, you have to be a premium member. And guys, all you have to do is answer a question every week. It is that simple. All you have to do is answer a question every week.
But can
And
I say something? It's not even answering a question, it's about self reflection.
yes,
And it's the same thing about sitting and having that quiet time and doing this soul searching. So it's not just answering a question, it's about you helping to build, you helping to reinforce the tools and utilize the tools
yep,
every week.
it certainly does help. It certainly helps. We have also changed the layout so you would see it on social media. It is no longer in the write up. We have it, you would see it. You would see it on social media. So it is a lot clear. So even if you don't participate, you would be able to see the question and even ask yourself the question, even though you are not registered. So it would also help a lot of persons with self reflection as well. Guys, remember, first week 2026, make it count. See most of you all tomorrow. Hopefully, see all of you all very soon during the weekly sessions, because they certainly move you forward a lot faster, you know? And have a wonderful, wonderful week, and keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. You have everything that you need already. Keep practicing. Have a wonderful night. See you all. Some of you tomorrow, some of you on Monday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah.